The United Way has been working really hard to raise the profile, and we'd just like to thank some of our partners like Mr. McDonald over there and some of the people that have really stepped up. There's a lot of things we don't think about. We live in a very affluent part of the world, and there's a lot of people, a lot of the poverty and a lot of people struggling is hidden. And so the United Way has worked really hard in our community to raise awareness of the living wage, things like transportation, other everyday things that are really important with youth, all sorts of endeavors. So we really appreciate all the efforts that John and all the volunteers that are here that have come for the United Way to make things better in St. Mary's. Thank you for your donations, and please support, please give. Thank you.
And thank you everyone for being here today. It is great to be here with my son Bennett. He enjoyed a hot dog this morning, so he actually took the hot dog apart, and it was easier to eat it that way for him. So, but it's all fun, and I do want to say thank you to the United Way, to Ryan, to co-chair Catherine Ritzma and her husband Martin for all that they've been doing so far leading up to today's launch, but in the months to come as well, as we work hard to raise the funds that are going to go to so many community organizations, so many partners across our region. $1.4 million. 1.4 million sounds like a lot of money, and it is a lot of money, and it's going to a great cause. But with every $10 donation, with every $20 donation, with every $100 donation, we get closer and closer to that goal. So I encourage everyone in your workplaces, in your community groups, on your street, your neighbors, to try to raise those funds for all the important causes. And there are three overarching goals or strategies within United Way: poverty to possibilities, all that kids can be, and strong communities. And I think those three overarching goals are so important to all of us. We all know someone who can be impacted by one of those three umbrella goals. So I just want to say thank you to the United Way. Thank you for everyone coming out, and good luck as we reach to work and achieve this goal. Thank you so much.
It takes volunteers to run this organization. I know Ryan is the chief boss here, and he's been a great ambassador for this cause, and somebody that's really been easy to work with. He's been in my office several times. We've discussed issues, and I really appreciate him coming in and discussing things, whether we can get things done or not. At least we can keep the dialogue open, and I do appreciate that. So thanks for everybody for being here today. The hamburgers, the food's great. I want to thank the chef. We should do that all the time, and he's not listening. So
way to go, Karen. Good cooking.
A family wedding. Anyway, this is the last of our kickoffs. Stratford was last Friday, Listowel was on Wednesday, last Saturday I was in Goderich, and now St. Mary's, and Huron East had a little kickoff yesterday in Seaforth. So we're really pleased. This is a county-wide action. We're really pleased with our goal. We've got a great team. The United Way staff is excellent. So we're looking to make United Way come alive, get to our goal, and have a good year so that we can have this money spread to our 48 organizations, including those in St. Mary's. Thanks very much for having me.
Well, it's an honor to be here in St. Mary's, best town in the world, right, everybody? Love St. Mary's. It is really a pleasure to have worked with the committee of volunteers that are, many of them are here barbecuing. They can see somebody with a t-shirt, you know that they're helping the United Way today. And we've been working for the last year to try to understand the priorities a little more clearly for St. Mary's itself. And it's been an excellent conversation. Over the course of that time, we met with social service agencies, spoke with them about their frontline issues they're facing. We spoke with residents about their concerns. And it came clear the two issues were the most important. You know, we could do more, I'm sure, but we're going to tackle two to begin with. One of them is the issue of social isolation. So we find that increasingly we're concerned with the health outcomes related to folks that are isolated for one reason or another. Perhaps they're a newcomer to the area and they don't have access to services or understand the services, or they're afraid to use the services, whatever the case may be. Perhaps there's someone who's facing a developmental challenge, or someone who is struggling with an addiction or anything like that. Sometimes people are isolated in our communities, and when that happens, they struggle. They struggle in social ways, they struggle in other ways, and in the end, it actually impacts their health substantially. So we want to do something about that, and we're thankful that Marg is here from Community Living. We're hoping to work with her, if we raise enough money this year, to bring a community connector, someone who's going to help connect people in our community to the services that are here, and work under the auspices of Community Living. So it's an exciting project. We're looking forward to that as well. We're also grateful for trying to understand another issue that we're facing here. We describe it as unaffordable living, and so increasingly, and this has been a challenge that we've been talking about for about 3 years since we issued the Living Wage Report for the region of Perth Huron, that there are numbers of people that are working, are struggling to make ends meet even when they have a paycheck coming. And so the divide is growing, frankly, between those that have and those that don't. It's an unfortunate reality that we're facing, and there are many people that live in poverty in our community too that are really struggling. But that next layer of people is a real challenge to figure out how we can help. And so increasingly, we're finding that they're relying on social service agencies, even like Mary Ellen here, who's with the food agency that distributes food across Perth and Huron. We're so grateful for that help, because we know that people get to the end of the month and they don't always have enough money to actually buy healthy food. And so a real challenge that we're facing, this unaffordable living concept, is to try to help people not have to make the choice between paying their hydro bill and actually paying for the food that they need in their home. It's an example of that issue. And so what we're planning to do here in St. Marys is to work with the local community food center out of Stratford, and they're going to expand one of their programs to this area. It's called the Access Market. And so what it is it's a fresh, affordable food access market that will be coming on a regular basis to St. Marys, so that lower income residents have an opportunity to purchase food with dignity at a market of their own. And so we're looking forward to how that's going to roll itself out. The community is rallying behind that concept, and we're so thankful for the opportunity. So we've got 2 exciting projects to work on above the 17 organizations who are already supporting that provide service here in St. Marys. And we're looking forward, with John's help and the committee's help, with Kathy's help, to raise another $60,000 so we can open those 2 new programs and services here over the next year. So let's do it. We can do it, right? Absolutely. Okay.